evening, America. This is your anchorman, Brian Reynolds, here on Channel Action 5 News. Today, on the day of May 31st, 2009, we mourn the loss of the one Dr. George Tiller. Dr. Tiller was serving as an usher in his church in Wichita, Kansas, when the shooter, Scott Roeder, came in and shot Dr. Tiller. Tiller, surprisingly enough, had already survived an assassination attempt by a woman who shot him in his arms. At the moment, Roeder has been arrested and is facing first-degree murder charges. It is most likely that Roeder will be in prison for life with no chance of parole. For more on this story, I take it to our senior correspondent, Chuck Taylor. Chuck? No. Thanks, Brian. I am your senior correspondent, Chuck Taylor here, and it is a very strong loss on the medical community today. You never like to hear about death in the community, any type of community, especially on the news. It's just a heartbreaker, a hope breaker. You never want to hear about death, but it has to happen. Sadly, that's not the way we want it to happen, but it's gonna happen. I believe that no one predicted that it was going to be from someone in the medical field, a doctor, of course. But since this is the first event of this happening, I believe that there will in the future be more of these deaths. God forbid, it's just sad to hear about it. And it's also sad, if you think about it, Brian, that these professionals, these health professionals, these nurses, these doctors, they put their lives on the line every day now because of this event. They worked so hard in their lives for their education to where they're at right now, and now they're under threat. They're under death threats, arson, violence, vandalism, and now even the chance of death. This is not what people think of when they think of going into the medical field. They don't think about getting harassed. They do not think about getting hurt in their jobs. It's just unbearable to believe that this would happen to a doctor who performs abortion services. There are people out there who are strongly passionate about anti-abortion, and I feel for them. I really do. I am pro-choice. However, I believe that both sides have their own side to the story, which make perfect sense. But this act of violence has no sense. It's not peaceful. It's not aggressive. It's just downright ridiculous that a doctor had to be murdered for someone to prove their point. And now that person, Scott Roeder, is going to face life in prison with no parole because of his views. You could have been passive about this, but some people, they take it to heart, and it's really sad. So hopefully we will see an uprising in doctors and nurses, and hopefully they will be safe in their line of work. Brian? Thanks a lot, Chuck. As always, we appreciate you here at Channel Action 5 News, but I gotta say, this is very sad this morning that we have to do today. Yeah, I know. It's ridiculous. I'm shocked. I'm awestruck. I'm at a loss for words right now, Brian. I'm just lost. I hear you, Chuck. I also feel the same way you would do. This is just devastating. To think that the medical field, just to think that a doctor has been murdered, it's ridiculous. But as always, Chuck, thank you for being on the show. Yep, no problem. Thanks for having me, Brian. All right, I'll see you. Channel 5 Action News would like to thank all the people who provide abortion safely to the people in need. We would also like to thank the women who go through these procedures with all the hate they receive. I've never felt this way about an issue on this show. It's just weird to know that a doctor got killed. It's ridiculous. And the way I see it, the way that I personally see it now, I believe that doctors and nurses who perform these abortions and services, I believe that they should take matters into their own hands. I do. I really do. This is a really sad loss, and I hope all of you at home are feeling the magnitude of mourning that we feel here. This grief just overflowing all of us here at the network. I hope you all have a great rest of the evening. This is your anchorman, Brian Reynolds, and I will see you tomorrow. Thank you.